CBC News has learned the Red Cross could soon be deployed in Canada to help slow the spread of COVID-19. The federal government is offering to send workers to areas that are seeing a second wave. Catherine Tunney is in our Ottawa bureau. She has been looking into this story and is reporting on these new details. What are we learning so far, Catherine, about this offer?
Well, so the federal government has been working with the Red Cross over the summer to kind of put together what they're calling a civilian workforce to be ready to jump into action if we saw a fall second wave. And unfortunately, that is what we're seeing in parts of the country, unfortunately. So a federal senior official told CBC that, the government is already beginning to reach out to hotspots and letting them know that this civilian workforce is there ready to be deployed. So this crew is kind of a Swiss Army knife, if you will, of volunteers and workers. So basically, they can be on hand to do almost anything that a region needs them to do. They could, work logistically in long-term care homes or, at the testing centers. Of course, we're seeing long lineups here in parts of Ontario. They can help isolate individuals if they're infected. They can feed and care for the sick, and they can even offer psychological services. So that is on offer to a bunch of regions. Now, we know the federal government has begun to reach out to some of the harder hit regions. They've reached out to here in Ontario, Ottawa, Toronto, Peel region, Windsor, Essex. They're also reaching out to provincial governments. They've had conversations with British Columbia and Alberta and Quebec. And I think actually today they're talking to Winnipeg as well. So they're kind of putting these services on offer and saying, we're ready if you need us. Now, Bill Blair's office, he's the public safety minister. They're also playing a role on this. They would help coordinate this deployment. And they sent us a statement which reads, "As the COVID-19 pandemic continues to evolve, we've been clear that our response will as well. We will always be there to support Canadians." So many people in the federal government and the Red Cross kind of on standby, ready to be deployed if the regions ask.
And as you say, ready to do anything. That's a fantastic analogy, the Swiss Army knife. Catherine, how soon could they get the call and start to help?
Well, the outreach campaign is being done by the federal government. They're having these conversations. It is up to the provinces to put in the official request. This is government. Of course, there's paperwork involved. So they're still waiting to hear back from the provinces. So we don't know exactly when and how fast people can be on the ground, but everyone is, standing by. Now, this money comes out of $100 million the federal government gave the Red Cross earlier in the spring for this kind of activity. So it'll be part of that money, but still not sure when people will be out the door, if they'll be out the door, and how many crews will be deployed. So still waiting for those answers.
Those details, but I know you'll bring them to us as soon as you learn them. Thank you so much for the reporting. Catherine Tunney is in Ottawa this morning.